first introduce Mary Mancini and her husband Mario, who will perform a musical selection as we gather to remember Al. Mary and Mario.
When all the world is a hopeless jungle and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly. With a rainbow, why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why
Mary and Mario Mancini, thank you. That was a wonderful performance. We're joined here today. Let me start off by just announcing some of the dignitaries who are with us here today. Certainly, DelBello was with us. And we're going to just move on with the program. I'll try to introduce everyone, and then we'll try to have some of the speakers. Congressman Elliot Engel is with us. We have the Senate Democratic leader, the New York State Senate, our state senator, Andrew Stewart Cousins. We have the supervisor for the town of Greenberg, Paul Feiners, with us today. Our council president, Lee McLaughlin, is with us today. The minority leader of the Yonkers City Council, Mike Sabatino. Councilman Mike Breen. Councilman Chris Johnson, who's also in his district, and Councilwoman Corazon Pineda. And again, I want to thank all of you for coming today on behalf of the residents of Yonkers to remember our friend and mentor, Al DelBello. It's so difficult to believe that he's no longer with us, and that we're no longer to be able to witness his tenacity and his desire to achieve what some might consider to be unachievable. But instead, what we can do is celebrate Al's life and remember how he touched each and every one of us in so many ways. Al was the definition of an elder statesman, a political titan not just here in Yonkers and Westchester County, but in New York State. Al DelBello started his career right here in Yonkers. Raised here in our city, he was a true Yonkers boy, and after serving on the city council, Al became mayor of Yonkers in 1970. He was the youngest mayor at the time, bringing a youthful spirit and wisdom that was far beyond his years. His landslide victory over the incumbent at the time triggered an election night street parade and a victory celebration, the likes which no one's ever seen before or since. And as a young dynamic mayor, he's cleaned up the political corruption that plagued our city hall and introduced new and innovative programs. In fact, he was so highly revered that his re-election scored a 80% of all eligible voters, and that was very impressive. He started in Yonkers, but the things that he accomplished continue to have an impact on the lives of everyone here in Westchester. We all know as Westchester County Executive, he was the county executive took a nearly bankrupt county hospital and turned it into a world-class medical center that we have today. He faced with the county landfill that was overflowing and contaminated and built a waste-to-energy plant in Peekskill and implemented a county-wide recycling program. Something we kind of take for granted today, but something that would not have happened if it wasn't for the leadership of Al DelBello. Anyone who takes a bus should thank Al DelBello because he created the public-private partnership that is today's Beeline bus system. He also implemented the creation of the first Office of Women and the Office for Disabled in New York State, the creation of a United Department of Public Safety in Westchester County, and Bicycle Sundays, which so many of us enjoy on the Bronx River Parkway. You got it. It was Al DelBello. The list goes on. And of course, we know Al proudly went on to serve as our great Lieutenant Governor. And later, when Al left the political arena, he practiced law, and I had the privilege to work with him as he worked to promote economic development right here in our city. Many of the projects that you're looking at right now. I would sometimes talk to Al, kind of like mayor to mayor, and he was candid and honest, as he always would be. He would always, I think his best advice to me was, don't really sweat it today, kid, because tomorrow you'll just have a whole new list of problems to deal with. And he was a natural leader, a man who had the ability to draw people to him. And we are all fortunate to have known Al in so many ways because we've witnessed his intellect, his passion. He leaves a strong legacy in New York and Westchester, and for all of us right here in Yonkers, he leaves the legacy that anything is possible for a young man from Yonkers. So it's no surprise that just months after he has left us, the Yonkers Community Development Agency, which I chair, passed a resolution naming this portion of the Hudson River Esplanade in Al's name. The designation begins at the mouth of the Sawmill River, just up the way here, and runs all the way past right down to the Scrim Shore, up to close to the Sugar House. So I'm honored to stand here today with my colleagues at the Yonkers City Council as we dedicate a portion of Hudson River Esplanade in his name. Signs will be posted along the walkway. You'll see that we have one we'll unveil in a little while. So now residents and visitors alike will forever know the name Al DelBello, and as they should. Council President Leah McLaughlin, who's Vice Chairs the CDA, joins with me here today. And I'd like the Council President to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor, and it's great to see everyone here this morning. We do know it's very cold outside. We recognize that, so the speeches will be very short, despite we're talking about someone that we all knew and loved and respected deeply. I had the good fortune for the last 5 years of having my law office right down the hall from Al's. And Al was just an invaluable resource. You know, the elder statesman, someone that you could go to with any question, any issue, and Al seemed to have a very simple solution for it. Most times, though, to me, his answers were just boiled down to two very simple things: do what's right and work together wherever possible. You know, we were of different parties, but he always was stressing working in a bipartisan way, working across party lines, and doing what's right for me, for the people of the city of Yonkers, but for Westchester County, the state of New York, and beyond. And I think that's a simple message which I've always held on to, and thank Al forever for his counsel and his guidance. So, Dee, Damon, thank you for sharing him with us and for all that he's brought to the people of the city of Yonkers.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. We have also joining here is the Democratic leader of the New York State Senate, and she's also our state senator, and that's State Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins.
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to certainly lend my congratulations to the mayor, to the city council, to everybody who understood how important this is. This is the week of Thanksgiving, so how appropriate to be thankful for those who have contributed so much, and certainly Al DelBello is among those brightest of lights on the city level, the county level, and the state level. We can all talk about the things that Al did. I have had an opportunity to serve on the city level, on the county level, on the state level. And each and every phase of my political career, Al DelBello was there to, again, give guidance, lend a helping hand, push a project forward, make it make sense so that it could be something that we could all embrace. He was really exemplary in terms of being a mentor and a friend. And also we talk about his accomplishments that we take for granted, but of course there's the medical center as well. Made it a first-class medical center. So everything that we do today in tribute of Al is really just, again, a small portion of what we can remember about such a great leader. And finally, I do want to thank the Mancinis, because they didn't bring the bluebirds, but the way those pigeons were circling, it was an amazing choreography. So I think that it was again just part of that rainbow and the magnificence of what we're doing today and who Al DelBello was. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator, and I'd like to ask our Congressman, Elliot Engel, to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's very fitting that we're here. You know, Al DelBello went from new kid on the block, a young dynamo, to elder statesman, someone who lasted a long time on the political arena. And some of my colleagues have mentioned all the good things that he did. But you know what really sticks in my mind about Al DelBello? With all the good things he did, you know, the city of Yonkers and Al DelBello were sort of intertwined. You know, you couldn't mention one for so many years without mentioning the other, and he went on to be county executive and lieutenant governor. But through it all, what I most remember about Al DelBello is that he was just a really, really nice guy. Someone who would really help you if you needed help, someone who would guide you, someone who was very collegial and worked with everybody. And so I think it's very fitting that in Yonkers today we're doing this, we're naming this after him, because he really encompassed everything that Yonkers was for so many years. And really, the last time I saw him was at Hudson River Museum Gala, where he was being honored, and even then he was giving advice and just being a very, very good friend. Andrea said that this is Thanksgiving, and it's true, this is the week of Thanksgiving. I can't think of a better week to do this, because we're all thankful that Al DelBello was a part of our lives. So to the D and the DelBello family, thank you for sharing him with us. And to all of us, our lives are richer, we'll all be better off because Al DelBello was our friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. And I noticed in the crowd we have the former council president, Chuck Lesnick, who's with us. Good to see you, Chuck. We have the supervisor from the town of Greenberg come down to see us today. He'd like to say a few words. I'd like to introduce Paul Feiner.
Thank you very much for inviting me to be here today. I'm really excited about this announcement because I think that this Esplanade represents the best of Yonkers. And to me, Al DelBello represented optimism, and he really made Westchester County a much more fun place to be. I got my start in politics working with him on getting the bikeways built along the Bronx River Parkway and the bicycle Sundays. And when I walk along the Esplanade in the future on the Riverwalk, I'll think about him, and I'll also think about how his efforts made living here such a nicer place. And that's really what government should be. It's not only building a medical center or creating a garbage recycling plant and doing the day-to-day responsibilities that make government work, but it's also making Westchester County a great place to live. The bike Sundays, he was the county executive who created the only boat launching ramp on the Long Island Sound. He did so many, the arts, the environment, he did so many things that made people want to live in Westchester County. Thank you.
Again, let me thank the Greenberg Town Supervisor for being here today. And Paul, it's always a pleasure to have you here in Yonkers. So, and again to the speakers today. As we know, Al's family and friends, especially his wife Dee and his son Damon, who's here today, and Al's 3 grandchildren, have had the privilege of having this fearless and loving man in their life. We are all privileged for the lasting impact he's had on all of our lives. I want to say thank you, Dee, for your continued dedication to serve others. From being the First Lady here in Yonkers to being the First Lady in Westchester County, to being, I guess, the Second Lady, right? You're Lieutenant Governor. But always somebody is there, always somebody with a smile, somebody there that is the true, the finest example when they say behind every great man, right? There's equally a great woman involved. Dee DelBello has certainly been that great friend for all of us here in our city. So I'd like to ask Dee and Damon to come up and to say a few words.
Thank you, all our dear friends here that I've known throughout the years through government and public service. It's very difficult to adequately express how we feel this morning at this memorial dedication to Al. It's a tribute that means so much to me, to my son Damon, to all our close friends who are here and those who could not be here because they're away for Thanksgiving vacation. But they did promise me that they would walk the walkway when they come back home. This could not be a more fitting memorial, and I thank you, Mayor Spano, your administration, Liam McLaughlin, the City Council, all the wonderful staff people who worked on this event, namely Christina Gilmartin, Mary Alice, and Joe Sindona, who made the signs, the beautiful, beautiful artistic signs that will be here, I hope, forever in memory of Al. As Mayor Spano said, Al was a Yonkers boy, third generation. He lived up the block practically, overlooking the Hudson. He practiced law with his dad in an office overlooking the Hudson. And he would often say to me, the Hudson River should be the 8th wonder of the world. He knew every nook and cranny, the pathway of this beautiful river. He loved it so much. And Mayor Spano, he would come down here and check on the development. Say, what is Mike Spano doing down there at the riverfront? And surely he would come home and say, that riverfront is blossoming. It's a tribute to the city of Yonkers. So, on behalf of Damon and our whole family and our friends, and for the friends who made it here on this coldest day of the year, this will remain the warmest day of the year in our memory forever. Thank you very, very, very much, all.
Before we go to the other side, I have here a proclamation on behalf of myself as mayor, on behalf of the Yonkers City Council, where I know I'll get a lot of these out. Where we had declared today here in the city of Yonkers, the 23rd day of November in the year 2015, will forever be known as the Honorable Alfred B. DelBello.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4. We're going to take a picture.
One more time. Everybody got that?
I'm sorry.
Last one.